Welcome to Swoop Podcast, and here are your hosts, Dante Fantuzzi and Josh Sanchez.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to another edition of the Swoop Podcast. As this is your host, Dante Fantuzzi, and I'm here with
Josh Sanchez,
my boy. Tonight's episode is going to be filled with fun, and more fun. As tonight is the kickoff for the regular season. We have the New England Patriots versus the Kansas City Chiefs tonight.
In New England, where the New England Patriots are going to raise that championship banner and celebrate right in front of the second seed in the AFC, which a lot of people forget about, the Kansas City Chiefs. And one thing I have, before we move on to our topics and stuff like that, football is back.
It is back, baby.
And remember this time last year when Cam Newton got hit by like 8 different times in that the Broncos versus the Panthers. Remember that game? It was a Super Bowl rematch.
Yeah. But honestly, I wouldn't say he lost him that game. I would say the field goal lost him that game.
Oh, yeah, I know the field goal lost him the game, but still. So it is just something to look forward to after 7 long months of long, cold, and just
misery.
Dead months. Yeah, misery.
I mean, we did have the NBA, but I just think the NFL is better than the NBA. I think there's a lot of people that can't agree with that. But tonight we are back. I'm excited. What about you, Josh?
I'm very excited. The only thing I have against this game is the spread for this game.
Ain't it 9 points?
It's 8.5, 9 points. Like a lot of teams a lot of people are just not giving the Chiefs any fight in this game. I think it's going to be a close game.
I mean, it's not that I wouldn't give them any fight. It's that Bill Belichick just went
I know.
full beast mode with. I don't even know how to explain it. Like he just all these off-season moves he made were just like, wow. Like,
I know.
How can you even do that? But of course, it's the great one and only Bill Belichick.
In my opinion, I think he's the greatest football coach of all time.
Of all time, yes, we can definitely agree with that. But speaking of all season, our first topic is just perhaps going to be about the off season
and we're going to do a little recap.
The off season moves. Well, not all of them because it's going to be like forever and ever and ever going on, but the ones that really highlighted the NFL off season. Okay. And I'm just going to let you start off with which one do you think is a very popular off-season move?
What I think is a really popular off-season move, I'm going to go with, this happened a while ago, the Oakland Raiders. They hit that fast forward button, my fault, and they moved to Las Vegas. And we always have a problem with people, with teams relocating and stuff like that. We see the San Diego Chargers, they are now the Los Angeles Chargers now.
Mm-hmm.
And
wait, let's not forget about the Rams. They moved.
Yes, and the Rams,
which was 2 years ago,
but now the Rams, they're in LA too. I mean, with this move, I feel like Oakland has one of the best fan bases in football. And seeing them leave to Las Vegas, I'm just saying I'm happy I'm not an Oakland Raiders fan, because if I was, I would feel some type of way. But here's the thing, though. They still have 2 more seasons in Oakland before they go to Las Vegas. And they are a very up-and-coming team. Who knows? Maybe they might be in the Super Bowl within these next couple years. Right now, I feel like they're a couple pieces away, but we'll see. So, I mean, for the most part, whenever a team relocates, I think that's a huge move in the offseason. You're not just getting one player. A whole team, a whole franchise is moving to a brand new fan base. It's going to take them 2 years to make a new stadium. So
speaking of new stadiums, the Atlanta Falcons,
it's going to take them some time.
Didn't the Atlanta Falcons just finish the new stadium?
Yes, this year you're going to see their brand new stadium. But the only problem I have with the Falcons stadium is then they add Chick-fil-A.
They added
Chick-fil-A.
In the stadium, but they're closed on Sundays.
But they're closed on Sundays. They have one Thursday night home game where they're going to have Chick-fil-A.
So you mean to tell me
that's a waste of money?
So you mean to tell me that they're only going to have a Chick-fil-A open 2 games out the season?
Yes.
Which will be a Thursday night and a Monday night?
Yes, that's it.
You know what? I'm just gonna let that fly right on.
Yeah, let them be great. They lost the Super Bowl. They already took enough L's this offseason.
28-3. That's all I gotta say. But I mean, speaking of 28-3, speaking of offseason moves, we were just speaking about TB12. I feel like the New England Patriots had the best offseason going into the season. I mean, this is a team that just came off of winning their 5th Super Bowl with Tom Brady. I mean, how much better? I mean, honestly thinking, how much better could they have gotten in the offseason? Like, it's just mind-blowing that, like, this is a team that just won the Super Bowl without a Rob Gronkowski on the team, and they were down 28-3, made the epic comeback to win 34-28 in OT, right? And then offseason comes, they make an impossible trade for Brandon Cooks. They sign over Stephon Gilmore. They sign over Dwayne. I think it was a trade for Dwayne Allen, was it?
Double check for you.
Yeah, it was a trade for Dwayne Allen and Coney Ealy, but Coney Ealy was released earlier. I want to say a week ago or something like that. And did I just mention they signed over Stephon Gilmore from the Buffalo Bills?
I know that just adds to already a very underrated secondary.
A good underrated defense. No, not secondary. I'm gonna have to say defense. I mean, yes, there are underrated, but if you want to say secondary, I'm going to have to say entire defense. Because look what they did to the Steelers. Completely shut them down.
Yeah. And
the Atlanta Falcons in the second half of the Super Bowl shut them down. I mean, this team right here is
comes down to Bill Belichick, and what he does is he takes away the number one option for every team that they face.
The game planning. But my thing is that how more scary can they get now? Yes, they lost Julian Edelman, which is a big blow, but you still have Brandon Cooks, and now you're getting back a healthy tight end who can go down as one of the most dominant tight end to ever play the game in that position. It just tends to blow my mind how that can happen. And you still have, let's not forget, the greatest quarterback of all time, Tom Brady, who really doesn't seem to let age get to him. It's like the older he gets, the better he gets. I don't understand it.
And it also, like, this offseason just explains the Patriots' motto. When Bill Belichick and them and the owner, Robert Kraft, when they won a Super Bowl, they're holding up the trophy. Bill Belichick's already talking about tomorrow, how it's going to be the first. He's already looking forward to the first day of the offseason because he has a no days off mentality. That's the Patriots' motto. No days left off or no days off. And that's why they've been so good for so long, ever since the early 2000s. They've still been going, winning Super Bowls, winning the division.
I don't mean to cut you off or anything like that, but can you make the claim or the statement that this is going to probably be the best New England Patriots team we'll ever see put together?
I don't know about that one because with the team with Randy Moss and in 2007 when they went 18-1, yeah, they lost the Super Bowl, but I believe that was the best team the Patriots have ever had because they had a vertical threat. They had Wes Welker catching passes. Their defense was elite, top 5 in the league, I believe, if not even higher. Mm-hmm. And I think that's the best team in my opinion. That I've the best New England Patriots team I've ever seen.
Okay.
Now maybe offensive wise, this team's starting to look like that 2007 team, but now with Edelman out, I still think that 2007 team is the best team.
I mean, to be honest with you though, Josh, I feel like this team is better than that 2017 when they went 18-1. Just for the simple fact that, I mean, the difference maker has to be Rob Gronkowski. I mean, he's the most dominant tight end in the game. When he's healthy, he's elite. Can't nobody stop him. Can't nobody even match up with him. He's a matchup nightmare for defenses. So, I mean, to me, that's the difference maker right there. And let's not forget, you add over the speedster and Brandon Cooks, who really is a vertical threat, but can really beat you. Let me rephrase that. Can win matchups with his physical skill set. We have seen it before when he was in New Orleans. So, and I'm not taking anything away from that 2007 Patriots team. Randy Moss is one of the greatest wide receivers. But I just feel like with Rob Gronkowski and everything he brings to the table, and the fact that Tom Brady just looks better now than he did, 10, 11 years ago? I would say 10 years ago. It's just more scary to think of. To me, I mean, this is why it's just, in my opinion, this team just sounds better than that 2007 New England Patriots team.
Yeah, I get your point. You can just pick or choose. But I'm ready to move on to our, just real quick, our off-season rewind. So we talked about the Patriots. We talked about the Raiders moving on. Next thing I have is the Giants. The NFC East made a lot of moves this offseason. The Redskins lost Deshaun Jackson to the Buccaneers, as well as Pierre Garçon. But they added Terrell Pryor. And the New York Giants signed Brandon Marshall in the offseason, who is my fantasy backup wide receiver. Just want to throw that out there real quick.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
How do you feel about Terrell Pryor? Because I'm not too high on him at all.
I mean, I'm not going to be a hypocrite. When he was in the free agency and before we got Alshon Jeffrey and we got Torrey Smith, I was one of those guys that was like, we should get Terrell Pryor. We need some receivers. He can give us a nice vertical threat. I mean, I think he's going to be a decent wide receiver for Washington.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, I do get some points people are saying, like Cleveland played in a lot of garbage time games, and he did get over 1,000 yards, but he barely got over 1,000 yards. Like, I get it. But I was that same Eagles fan, though, before we got Jeffrey and Torrey Smith. I was like, we need to get a vertical threat, and we can get a guy like Terrell Pryor. That's a huge upgrade than Nelson Aguilar running down the sidelines.
But I mean, now to piggyback off what you said, I'm not gonna lie neither. I'm not gonna hypocrite anything else either. I'm not gonna front on anything. I was honestly one of those people that said, okay, we should go after Terrell Pryor. But let's be honest though, Alshon Jeffrey never really seemed like a possible option for the Eagles at all last year.
He came out of nowhere.
He never did. Nobody. I mean, if you can ask any Philadelphia Eagle fan here in the city, and ask them, do you think Alshon Jeffrey was a possibility to come here, or was it even in rumors? It was never a possible thought to me, or to probably anybody else. I mean, you're probably gonna have those people that yeah.
Yeah, like I knew it all along.
Yeah, but I mean,
talking all.
Those are just the people that just go off of other people that just really don't know the sport and really don't know the detail of the sport. But this is why I agree. Like, I'm coming on the same side as you, where Terrell Pryor, to me, was probably the best fit. Well, not even the best fit, the best player for the Eagles to go out and get, besides Deshaun Jackson, who I'm pretty sure we all wanted to see him reunite. But case maybe he went on to Tampa Bay. But yeah, I'm just not gonna be a hypocrite about that either. I'm not gonna front on anything.
Yeah,
but I
that's
mean,
all.
I have to be honest with you. I'm not high on Terrell Pryor. I felt like he was just a receiver that got lucky with his 1,000 yards. I'm not taking no talent away from the guy. He has amazing talent, an amazing skill set. But to be a receiver with such high praise in an offseason and to barely make 1,000 yards, and I only think he had about 4 or 5 touchdowns.
Yeah.
So how can we say this man is a vertical end zone threat when he only had 4 or 5 touchdowns? Which I can honestly say, I can see why they say that, because of the physical tools that he has.
And the speed. He has very good speed.
But man only had 4 touchdowns. That's probably the same amount Jarvis Landry had last year. And Jarvis Landry works out the slot position.
All right, now real quick, staying with the NFC East. As I mentioned earlier, the Giants got Brandon Marshall in the offseason. What do you think about that deal? Here's a question. Do you think the Alshon Jeffrey deal was better, or do you think the Brandon Marshall deal was better?
I gotta be honest.
Because they were both excellent deals.
No, you're right. They were both good. I'm not going to say excellent deals, but they were both good deals. But I have to be honest with you, though. I feel like the Giants won the best out of that situation, signing Brandon Marshall, because you do have the Odell Beckham lined up on one side of the field. And now you have Brandon Marshall, who is, if you ask me, is going to go down as a top 10 receiver to ever play the game. Brandon Marshall is just tough. I mean, how much how can you explain this, man, to like people that really don't understand the sport?
He's been good for a long time, and he's overcame a lot in his career too.
And the thing is that, have you ever noticed every time he signs to a different team, he tends to have breakout years?
Yeah, I believe he is one of few receivers to have more. I think to have more than I believe 4 or 5 seasons of over 1,000 yards on different teams.
So like
something like that. I don't know about it exact, but I remember hearing that stat because he got a 1,000-yard year with the Jets a couple years ago.
He did,
and I believe that was like the 4th.
No, that was the year they went to the playoffs
because he was with the Broncos early in his career. Snapped there, got a 1,000-yard receiver. Then he went to the Dolphins. Snapped with the Dolphins. And then
went to Chicago.
Then went to Chicago. Had a great time in Chicago. Another 1,000-yard year. And now he's with the Jets. So 4 teams he's had over 1,000-yard seasons with.
Yes.
There we go.
And the thing that really scares me the most is that when you play against the Giants, there's no more double teaming Odell Beckham. You can't double team the man no more, because you have to respect the fact that you have Brandon Marshall on the opposite side of the field.
Then you got Sterling Shepard.
And you still have Sterling Shepard working out the slot. And you have somebody that rookie tight end, Evan Ingram. I really don't know much about him. I really never seen him play. But I mean, from the reports go, and you know that build up hype that everybody gets in the training camp off season, they make it seem like he's going to be something special. So you have to respect it. And that's the scary part. You're giving Eli Manning 2 great receivers with a good slot receiver and a humongous tight end. But now the thing that, that I really like to question is that offensive line. Because without an offensive line, he's not going to have much time.
Yeah.
And
that's the only downside with the Giants.
We have seen in previous years how the Giants can turn out to be when Eli Manning doesn't have a good offensive line. We have seen that in previous years. We have seen them without a good running game. Now, we can sit here and make the case that they have great receivers, they have a good tight end, they have a good slot receiver, this, that, and the third. But do you remember when the Giants made those 2 Super Bowl runs and won both Super Bowls, what they had that this team doesn't have?
Yeah.
They don't have a good running game. You had Ahmad Bradshaw one year and Brandon Jacobs the following year. Well, whatever stint they went to the Super Bowl with. You don't have that. You don't have a complete running game. You don't have a complete offensive line to protect him. He doesn't have any of that. He had a good defensive. He had a good defense, great receivers, but that running game though. I mean, as we can see, another team that really makes a lot of noise, but hasn't made that playoff run and that Super Bowl run since their offensive line got weaker and with no running game, the Seattle Seahawks. We all seen what happened with Marshawn Lynch. We all seen what happened when that offensive line is dead, or really doesn't have anybody, can't protect Russell Wilson, and they can't get a running game going. They make it to the playoffs, but they bounce in the first round. They can't get far.
First, second round, if that.
Because they don't have that complete running game that they really need. Like a lot of teams, honestly, really feed off the running game in order for your passing game to be effective throughout the course of the game.
All right. Now moving on to the next topic. Great hit on that topic, Dante. I think you hit that topic really well
Appreciate that.
About the Giants. Now, here we go. We're going to move on a little bit more. Andrew Luck and Cam Newton both had surgeries in the offseason. As what ESPN reported earlier this week, Andrew Luck will not play week 1 due to his injury. And Cam Newton only played 1 preseason game this whole preseason, and he only played 1 drive, and he looked great in that drive. So he's ready for week 1. And also, the Panthers added some more weapons for Cam Newton. They got really Christian McCaffrey, who is also on my fantasy team. Don't want to brag that real quick. Cam Newton's also on my fantasy team, too. I snapped. I had a great draft. They also signed first-round pick Matt Khalil to play left tackle. They need help on that offensive line. They also got Curtis Samuel
out of Ohio State.
Yeah, from Ohio State.
The speedster.
Yeah, he can do some slot work. McCaffrey can also do slot work as well, which looks really amazing for the Panthers. Martavis Bryant, he finally stayed off the weed. He's back in the NFL. Finally. Where Josh Gordon, he is suspended indefinitely.
Still suspended. They did say he was gonna try and reinstate sometime throughout the course of the season. I just can't remember.
And the Cleveland Browns might actually have something here with that NFL draft. Me and Dante were there live. We also talked about how good their draft was earlier in a previous podcast last semester.
They had a great first round.
They
had a great first round.
Yes, and they've also added Kevin Zeitler and J.C. Tretzler in the free agency, and they re-signed Joe Bettino. So they got all these new offensive linemen, and as well as they re-signed their linemen. And as what I have heard from the preseason, their rookie quarterback, I forget his name, Kaiser, right, from Notre Dame.
DeShone Kizer?
Yes, DeShone Kizer. My fault. My bad for pronouncing his name wrong. He beat out Brock Osweiler, and he's going to be week 1, day 1 starter. That just happened earlier this week. I remember seeing the headline of that. So.
Yep.
And also Deshaun Watson, I think he is not starting week 1, but he had a pretty good all season. I think he's going to start later as the season progresses.
Mm-hmm.
So what he's going to do in Houston, I think is going to do nothing but excite the fans. And the last headline I pretty much have to talk about is Richard Sherman. All that talk about him in the all season leaving, he stays put. And also that trade talk of Richard Sherman, he ended up staying put, and now he is staying in Seattle.
Hold on, before you move on, let's talk about Seattle real quick.
That's fine, yeah. I was trying to make sure which one you want to talk about.
What makes you okay? The question I have is how comfortable do you feel with Seattle moving on throughout the course of the season?
I think now that Russell Wilson is fully healthy,
which is my favorite player, just on that up there.
I think that the Seattle Seahawks will take a couple steps forward this year.
Let's not forget they made the trade for Muhammad Wilkerson.
Yes, that was a very good trade. But the thing that still concerns me though is that offensive line. I just think when they play against like the Falcons, well, it depends on where they play it. If they have home field advantage throughout the playoffs, I do see Seattle going to the Super Bowl. But I'm not really. I think they're an NFC title team, but I just think they're one step away from the Super Bowl where they were a couple years ago. Like, Earl Thomas is coming off of a broken leg. I mean, it's still Earl Thomas. He's one of my favorite safeties to watch. He's my favorite defensive player. The way how he flies and reacts to the ball. But it's gonna take him a year or a couple months to get back to that old pace. It takes everybody a couple games at least to get used to it. And the Falcons, they got better. Desmond Trufant is coming back. He was out all year last year.
Right.
And their defense is just getting
more solid,
more experience, and they fly around the football. They are one of the fastest defenses in the NFL. And the Panthers also got better offensively. So I don't really know right now. And the Packers with Aaron Rodgers, you know how they are. They're always in the mix because of Aaron Rodgers. He's just excellent.
Yeah.
So I think Seattle can go to the Super Bowl, but I just think they're an NFC title team. That's just my argument. NFC title, get close but no cigar team right now. One step behind.
Yeah, you heard it there. You heard it there, my people. Now, we're gonna stay with the NFL. We're gonna keep hitting it. Our NFL weekly predictions. I know we started this last year, so we're gonna obviously start it up again this year. This is a segment where me and Josh are just gonna give a simple pick and take, winner loser, and just a little prediction.
A little bit based off of like matchups and stuff.
Yeah,
like
just
that.
a little prediction, and why.
Yeah, we always gotta explain why. Cause
yeah, true.
they gotta hit him with those facts, bro.
So for tonight, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. On NBC, we have the Patriots taking on the Kansas City Chiefs.
In Foxborough.
Yes, it is in Foxborough.
The
Josh?
last time the Chiefs and Patriots played in New England,
Week
it was
2.
it was a playoff game. They played in the playoff game, 2016 playoffs, divisional round. The Patriots won 27-20. Yes, they played in the playoffs that same
I don't
year.
even remember that. I do remember that Week 2 game. It was a Monday night game.
Yeah, and the Chiefs just
or
blew
was
them
it
out.
was a Week 2 or a Week 4?
It was Week 2.
Week 2.
Yeah.
Monday Night Football.
It was like 44-10.
They absolutely killed Tom Brady. Now let's just see how after that game and after that playoff game, let's just see how it's gonna experiment tonight. So Josh, pick and take. Who do you have as the winner? And a quick prediction for tonight.
Okay. The winner of this game. Now I'm betting. Like, the spread of this game is 8.5, so I'm betting the Chiefs. But I know that the New England Patriots are going to win this game. It's in Foxborough. They're going to have all the crowd momentum. They're going to have the atmosphere of raising that banner. I think it's going to be a lot closer than what people think due to the Chiefs playing press man-to-man coverage. They love to throw off timing of their receivers. And with the loss of Julian Edelman, I don't care if Tom Brady's the greatest quarterback of all time. It's still going to take time for him to find that new third down speedster guy to replace Julian Edelman. It's going to take some time. So I think the game's going to be like 27-21, 27-24 Patriots win.
Jeez, are you serious?
Yes, I think the Chiefs are going to keep it close.
Okay.
But New England will win because New England has that crowd and that atmosphere. So that's my prediction.
All right.
What do you think, Dante?
On the other hand, I do take the Patriots winning tonight's game. But that bold prediction you're making with the Chiefs staying in it, I don't see it. What offensive weapons do they really have right now besides Travis Kelce?
Tyreek Hill.
With what quarterback?
It's either Alex Smith or you have that young rookie.
Do you believe in those guys?
I mean, Alex Smith is one thing with Alex Smith. He's not going to turn the ball over. He's just going to make the simple decisions. And if they shut down Travis Kelce, that just leaves Tyreek Hill and his speed. I mean, who knows?
I mean, listen, I got the Patriots winning tonight's game by easy 14 points. I see Tom Brady going off week 1. He still has a chip on his shoulder. The team completely got a whole lot better. You still have Malcolm Butler. You signed over Stephon Gilmore. The defense just completely got better. The offense completely got better. You have a healthy Gronk now. You have the speedster and Brandon Cooks. You do lose a little bit out when you lose Julian Edelman, but I know Chris Hogan and what the hell's his name? Chris Hogan and I can't think of the other receiver.
Didn't they just sign someone from the
Oh,
Colts
and
too?
Edelman.
Amendola.
Amendola. I'm sorry, Amendola and Chris Hogan. I know they'll eventually make up for it. I mean, come on now, it's Tom Brady. Tom Brady will make us look great. You could put me and you as a wide receiver for the New England Patriots. We're guaranteed to have 1,000 yards because it's Tom Brady. So I'm rolling with the TB12, the GOAT. Back. So after that, we're just gonna hit it on to Sunday. I was gonna say Sunday night, but we're gonna hit it off Sunday with our 1:00 games. Josh, Philly, Redskins, who you got?
I got the Redskins have been kicking our butt these past 2 years. They have won, I believe, 5 straight matchups. But I just think with the addition of Alshon Jeffrey and the way how Carson Wentz has been playing this preseason, I think the Eagles will finally overcome those Redskins and finally win a game against the Redskins. And it's just, again, NFC East game. It's always a close game. So, what do you think, Dante?
I mean, I'm not trying to be biased to the situation, but I'm taking the Birds in this one. The line is 1 point.
Yes, one and a half points. Yeah.
So I'm gonna be rolling with Philly on this one. I believe we have a new vamped offense. The Redskins, on the other hand, lost out on Deshaun Jackson, Pierre Garçon, which you mentioned earlier, which to me is really going to affect Kirk Cousins. I believe the Eagles will be able to tame Terrell Pryor, hold him in check throughout the course of the game. Our front seven, I believe, is still dominant.
Yeah, and we got Ronald Darby, which
Yes.
we forgot to talk about.
Yes, and I mean, in our offense just now it just seems a lot more better. You
Lane
have Torrey
Johnson's
Smith.
healthy.
Lane Johnson
Not
is back.
suspended.
He's back. You know, when Lane Johnson's back, when Lane Johnson's playing, we're winning. I mean, I'm a little concerned about the running game, but that has, we still have Darren Sproles back there. The Garrett Blunt for those, short yardage situations. So I'm rolling with Philly on this one.
All right, now moving on, we're going to do the New York Jets at the Buffalo Bills. I believe this is going to be a pretty boring game this week. I got Buffalo winning this one only because who's the Jets quarterback? And they're in Buffalo.
The Jets right now are just a complete mess.
Yes, the Jets are all over the place right now. Sorry, New York Jet fans, but your team is just all over the place. We don't know who's starting, who your wide receivers are. Like it's just all over the place.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm rolling with the Bills like you. I don't really have a prediction for this one.
Yeah, I don't really either. Just move on.
Yeah, we're just gonna move on from that. We're just gonna move on from that one.
Next one, we're gonna do the Atlanta Falcons are gonna go take a trip to Chicago to play the Chicago Bears. 1:00 on at Fox News or Fox TV station. My fault.
Yes.
I got the Atlanta Falcons winning this game by a good, comfortable margin. The spread of this game is, I believe, 8.5, as well as because the Steelers game is the exact same spread, and the Patriots game is too. I think even though Trubisky is having a very good preseason, they lost a key blow. One of their wide receivers is out for the year. I was watching that game, and
Cameron Meredith.
Yes, Meredith. Yep, that's the guy. And I think Atlanta's on a Super Bowl run this year. I just think that they're going to go back. I don't know why. I mean, a lot of people say Super Bowl hangover, but I just think this team is ready for another run.
Yeah, I mean, I agree to an extent, though. I do take the Falcons in this one. They're favored by 7. You said 8.5. They're favored by 8.5. I got them probably. I just never seen any chance for the Bears in this game at all.
Yeah.
I never seen a chance for them. Never thought they did have a chance. But I mean, even if Cameron Meredith never doesn't take that blow and that terrible injury, they still wouldn't have a chance. I mean, the Atlanta Falcons just came off a 28-3, 25-point loss. I mean, not a 25-point loss, a 25-point
lead.
And blew it. I feel like there is a Super Bowl hangover that's gonna linger with them, but
it's not this week.
Yeah, I mean, there's no way you can lose to the Bears with a Super Bowl hangover. I'm sorry. There's no way that could happen. That's another team that just
all right, moving
all over
on.
the place.
Now we got another toss-up game. We got the Baltimore Ravens taking a trip to Cincinnati to play the Cincinnati Bengals. This game is just if it's going to be a close game.
It's going to be a good game.
It's going to be a very good game. Close game like it always is. Game. I got the Bengals in this one.
Yeah, I like that.
I feel like Joe Mixon's gonna have a very good week this week. I don't know why. I just have a gut feeling he is.
I mean, this was the man that I want the Eagles to draft from the beginning, was Joe Mixon. Regardless of the domestic violence that he caught, the domestic case that he caught. I mean, listen, I'm pretty sure he's gonna end up getting his act right. And I mean, his skill talent on the field is just unbelievable. So I mean, like you
4.3 speed.
I'm taking the Bengals in this game. I like them. They have the line is the over/under line is 3 points. I mean, I got Cincinnati winning on a touchdown. I think AJ Green's gonna have another great game against the Ravens like he always does. So I'm just rolling with the Bengals on this one.
All right, here we go. We got the Pittsburgh Steelers taking a trip to Cleveland to play the Cleveland Browns. And I got the Pittsburgh Steelers winning this game easy. Le'Veon Bell's going to have a monster game. He's on my fantasy team as well. Just giving a quick shout out.
Yeah, I couldn't agree less. Pittsburgh Steelers, they're coming in hot. They just signed Joe Hayden from the Cleveland Browns, which I think he's going to pretty much have a chip on his shoulder to prove. I'm a little iffy about him because I don't think he stayed healthy throughout. I don't think he's played a full 16 games since his rookie season, I believe.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Something similar.
So that's what really scares me about him over there. But, I mean, this offense just looks revamped. Le'Veon Bell came back. They just made a trade for Vance McDonald for a tight end. Martavis Bryant came back. And the thing that people really don't know is that although Martavis Bryant came back, the Steelers' offense is much more productive. And Le'Veon Bell, for fantasy owners, is much more productive. And for Antonio Brown fantasy owners, he's much more productive. And same goes for Ben Roethlisberger. Not too many people know that.
Yeah.
The 4 Bs, Bryant, Brown, Bell, Ben. The 4 Bs are all productive when Bryant is there.
They even have that uniform like a B.
Yeah. So, I mean, yeah.
One of the worst uniforms ever.
So, fantasy owners, if you're a little worried about Le'Veon or Brian or whatever the case may be, don't be worried. It's just a fun fact throwing out there. Be glad that he's back. And he's staying off the weed.
Staying off the weed.
No more puff pass.
Next game, the Arizona Cardinals are taking a trip to Detroit to play the Detroit Lions. Matthew Stafford said, quote, or I'm not going to quote him word for word, but he said something like that this is going to be Detroit's year this year. I don't really think so.
Stop it.
I don't know, just stop running your mouth.
Stop it.
And it's going to happen with week 1. I have the Arizona Cardinals beating the Detroit Lions.
Come on, I got Arizona running over his team like they're nothing. Come on now.
David Johnson.
Come on. Stop it. You know, we're just going to move on.
Yeah, move on. Let's go.
That just made me sick.
Next, we got the Jacksonville Jaguars taking a trip to Houston. And this is played in Houston after that terrible hurricane.
Mm-hmm.
So
Terrible
I got the Houston's defense just killing Blake Bortles and making him throw more interceptions. I think that's the Jaguars' worst decision was to start Blake Bortles. I think he's not ready. And I got the Houston Texans winning this game.
Yes, after what was the Hurricane's name? I'm sorry.
Harvey, right?
Yeah, after Hurricane Harvey, I feel like the Texans have something to prove and give back to the city.
Sort of like how the Saints did.
Yes,
when they had that block punt.
Yes, like the Saints. But I just feel like the Texans have, much more to play for. Football is just bigger than a game.
Football's family.
Football's family. Football's a community. I feel like they just have this chip on the shoulder ever since they want to give something back to the fans. They want to give them some type of hope to hold on to. So, and J.J. Watt is back. Clowney is back.
Yes, and he had a great season in his absence.
So, I mean, hey, let's get ready to rock and roll. Blake Bortles, you better be on the run because you don't know which side you're going to get hit from first. You don't know. You don't know whether it's going to be Clowney or what. So, take your pick.
Now, moving on. The last game at 1 o'clock, the Oakland Raiders take a trip to Tennessee to play the new upcoming Tennessee Titans team.
Yes.
That has brand new offensive weapons.
And can you believe what this is?
Yeah, the spread has the Raiders as 1-point underdogs.
On mine, I got the Titans as 2-point. The Raiders as 2-point underdogs.
2-point underdogs, not 1.
Well, 2.5. 2.5.
So they raised it a point.
So they have the Titans beating the Raiders by like 2 points, maybe 3.
Wow, they must not have faith in the Raiders.
I mean, honestly, I got the Raiders. I'm taking the Raiders this game.
Yeah, I got the Raiders too. I'm not even gonna lie. I think the Titans are gonna have an up and coming year this year. I think this is their year for them to contend for the wild card spot. But the problem I have is the Raiders weren't they 12-2 with Derek Carr as their starting quarterback at one point?
I believe so.
And then he went down, and then that's when they lost a couple games.
But didn't he go down the last game of the season?
He went down. I believe he went down against the Panthers game, right?
I honestly can't remember.
It was so long ago.
Yeah.
But anyway, like they were pretty much all he needed to do was win one more game, and they would have been the 2 seed. But they ended up losing back-to-back weeks because Derek Carr went out, and then that's why the Chiefs came up, and then the Chiefs won the division that year.
Yeah.
But anyway, I got the Raiders winning. Dante got the Raiders winning. Now let's move on to our 4 o'clock games. The Indianapolis Colts, without Andrew Luck, take a trip to L.A. to play the Los Angeles Rams. I got the Rams winning this one only because you lose Andrew Luck. That is a huge loss to the Colts. And their defense, even though they got a lot of I like their draft defensively.
Mm-hmm.
They're still rookies at the end of the day. It's going to take them some time to get used to the speed of the NFL. I think this game's going to be a close game, but I think the Rams with that home field advantage are going to win that game. What do you think, Dante?
Yeah, I mean, look, the Colts are not the Colts without Andrew Luck. So, and I really want to see what Todd Gurley's going to do with this new offense. I mean, reports go, he looks unbelievable. He looks incredible. He looks back to his rookie form. So I'm just excited to see him that. Pardon me, I'm excited to see him back to that rookie year form. I mean, I'm a Georgia fan. He's a Georgia product. It works perfect, hand in hand. And I mean, and the Rams every year, they don't have a disappointing defense. They have a solid defense. They signed Connor Barwin in the offseason, and I'm a big Connor Barwin fan. I would like to see how he does over there, how productive he'll be, and I'm rolling with the Rams.
Yeah, I got the Rams too, like I already said earlier. Next, I think this is this is going to be the prime time Joe Buck called game and Troy Aikman game at 4:25. You have the Seattle Seahawks. They're going to take a trip to Green Bay to play the Green Bay Packers. Eddie Lacy is now a new member of the Seattle Seahawks.
Yeah.
Playing against his former team. We have another matchup that's very similar on Monday night as well. But I have Green Bay in this game only because when they're in Lambeau Field, they're a whole different team. Sort of like how Seattle is in their home field. Green Bay has a huge home field advantage. And Rodgers seems to amplify his game when he's home. So I have the Green Bay Packers winning. I think it's going to be a close game, but I think the Packers are going to prevail at the end. It's going to be a good game.
I mean, I can't disagree more. I mean, I'm a big Russell Wilson fan. Eddie Lacy's back. He's headed back, to the team that originally drafted him. But I feel like I'm just gonna have to go with Rodgers in this game. I mean, Russell Wilson's my favorite player. But I mean, in situations like this, you can't be biased to anything. But see, one of the things that really bothers me is that I don't think Seattle plays good their regular season, to open their season, their first game ever. I mean, last year they barely beat the Dolphins. It was 12-10, and we're talking about the Dolphins. The season before that, didn't they go 0-1? 2016, they lost their first game. If I can remember, I'm going to try and pull up the stat. I'm going to try and pull up the record right now. But
yeah, I get what you're saying. They tend to turn the switch in October and November. That's when they really turn on the switch.
I mean, I'm really not.
I remember the Eagles, we played them at the wrong time.
Yeah, so Seattle, the first half of the season doesn't really get clicking, but the second half of the season,
I see
the light switch goes on, and everything just hits them like they've been playing like that all year. But I think I'm just gonna have to roll with the Packers in this game.
And real quick, just a quick fact before we move on: the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Miami Dolphins game has been postponed due to Hurricane.
Irma.
What?
Was it Irma?
Yeah, Irma. And Irma's right now is hitting Puerto Rico as we speak. Well, it hit yesterday, and Puerto Rico's been damaged really badly, really severely, to the point where they said that Puerto Rico, they might not have power for the next couple months. That's how bad that hurricane's been. But anyway, now the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Miami Dolphins, this would be considered their bye week.
Yes.
They are going to play 16 straight games.
Jesus Christ.
That is pretty much death right there.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of the players are complaining. They want to move the game to a neutral site. I get it. But
I mean, why not move the game here to Philly? They should have did that.
But the problem I have with that is, man, 16 straight games, someone's going to get hurt. Something bad's going to happen. I just have this gut feeling, and it's not going to look good for the NFL. So I just wanted to throw that out there before we move on to the Carolina Panthers and San Francisco game. So now moving on, just like I said, the Carolina Panthers are playing in San Francisco against the 49ers. I got the Panthers winning this game. I think the new weapons of Cam Newton are going to give that offense that extra boost. Like they're just lacking speed, in my opinion, on that offense. Like not Cam Newton, but his weapons were just lacking speed. So now with Christian McCaffrey as well as Samuel from Ohio State, I think that the Panthers are going to have their offense is going to take that next step forward this year. So I have the Panthers winning this game by a lot.
I wouldn't say by a lot, but I definitely got the Panthers in winning this game, at least by a touchdown. I mean, like you said, Cam has new weapons, but I'm more interested in Cam this year. I don't know if you ever noticed, but the Panthers and Cam Newton always have an up-down year, like up-down every other year. So, like, the year they went to the Super Bowl, the year following, well, the year previously, they were bad. They went to the Super Bowl. Last year, they were bad. This year, Cam Newton, I see Cam Newton coming back healthy, coming back strong, coming back with a chip on his shoulder, and wants to prove a point to the NFL that he is Superman. So, I'm rolling with the Panthers in this game.
All right, and that wraps up our day games. Now we're going to move on to our primetime games. Starting with a Sunday night showdown. The New York Giants take a trip to Dallas for like the third straight year. The Giants have taken a trip to Dallas. I don't know why Dallas has never taken a trip to New York. But it's always been Giants taking a trip to Dallas. Ezekiel Elliott will play week 1, but after week 1, he will serve his 6-game suspension. His suspension was upheld earlier this week. Just want to throw that out there.
Yes.
I don't know why he's playing. Well, they said he's not playing week 1. He's playing week 1 only due to the timing of it.
Yeah, because the NFL, the lawyer or whatever he was.
Yes.
What was his name? Gerald Henderson or something like.
Something like that. But we know we have our conspiracy theorists out there saying the NFL's rigged and stuff like that. I'm just gonna throw out that bullarchy right now because Ezekiel Elliott, the only reason why Ezekiel Elliott is playing week 1 is due to the timing of the case. I believe the case had to be done by 4:20.
It was a 4 p.m. It had
to be 4 p.m.
But they had to have a ruling by then.
Yeah, they had to have a ruling by 4 p.m., but they got it done at 4:20 instead of 4 p.m. They were 20 minutes late. So that's why he is not playing. Just throwing that out there.
He is playing.
That's why he is playing. My
fault.
Is playing. But after week 1, he will serve his 6-game suspension. So don't get too excited.
Yes. So who you rolling with, Josh?
I got Dallas in this one, especially because they got Ezekiel Elliott. I think they're going to run the ball a lot. They're going to slow the pace down of the game, and I just don't trust the Giants' offensive line yet. I don't trust it. I think the Dallas defense is not great, but they'll benefit from the time off of the field that they're going to have, and I just think it's going to be a close game like it always is. But I just think Dallas is going to prevail at the end because they can run the football a little bit better.
I mean, I have to disagree with you on this one. I mean, we were pretty much same team for team. Following up to this game, I feel like the Giants just have the better complete team than the Cowboys. I mean, yeah, Zeke is going to come in and run all over the defense, but at the end of the day, defense wins games, and we all know who has the better defense at the end of the day.
Easily the Giants do.
So, and I mean, I don't think the Cowboys have a good enough defense to stop them without it being a good offensive line for Eli Manning. And even if Odell doesn't play, you still have Brandon Marshall. Brandon Marshall has shown he can be a number 1 receiver for any team. He's proved that year in, year out. So, even without Odell, I feel like the Giants just have the better the better overall team. So I'm rolling with the Giants in this game.
All right, sounds good. Now moving on to our Monday night matchups, we have 2. Adrian Peterson and his new uniform, new team, the New Orleans Saints, take a trip to Minnesota to play the Minnesota Vikings. I think this is going to be a very emotional game for Adrian Peterson. The spread of this game is they're giving the Saints, they're giving the Vikings. The Vikings are the favorite by 3.5 points. I like the Saints in this game. I just have a gut feeling like You know, when you just have a gut feeling on certain games, like you look at that game, you're just like, I feel like this upset's going to happen. Minnesota has a great defense. I'm not going to knock anything on Minnesota. But I just think with Adrian Peterson coming back to Minnesota, I think he's going to have and coming off of a season-ending injury. And we've seen that before with Adrian Peterson. When he comes back from season-ending injuries, the next season, he snaps. So I believe with the Saints offense, he's going to have more running room. And I think that he is going to run all over Minnesota. He's going to split carries with Ingram. So it's not going to be like a huge performance, but I think he's going to get close to 100 yards and a touchdown in this game and give Drew Brees that extra help that he needs for in his passing game. And, you know, when you give Drew Brees a passing game, that offense just becomes unstoppable.
Yeah.
So
you're rolling with the Saints?
Yeah, I got the Saints winning this one.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. I got the Saints in this game. I feel like the Vikings offensively just don't have enough to outplay the Saints offense.
Yeah,
it's Drew Brees.
Then the Saints get who's that guy we wanted to draft? Who did the Saints draft? They drafted that rookie. Can't remember his name. What's his name? From Alabama. Didn't they draft him? The guy from Alabama, Reuben Foster. Did they get him?
No, it was the Niners. It was the Niners.
My fault. My fault. They got somebody big time though. That's why I'm.
Are you talking about the Vikings? They drafted Devin Cook.
No, I'm talking about the Saints. They drafted someone in the first round defensively that was really good.
I can't remember.
Was
it the cornerback? Was it Conley went to the Raiders, I believe, right?
Yeah, Conley went to the Raiders. Yeah.
I think it was the corner. I think it was a corner. I'm
gonna look it up while.
I got the Saints winning in this game. I think just the Saints have a better offensive team than the Vikings do, so I'm rolling with the Saints in this one, baby.
And then the last Monday Night Football game we have, while I'm looking up the Saints' first round draft pick, we have the Los Angeles Chargers taking a trip to Denver to play Von Miller in that tough defense in Denver. Who do you got in this game?
I'm gonna have to go with. Oh, this is gonna be tough, but I have to go with the Chargers.
Why you got the Chargers?
Excuse me. I don't see the Broncos' offense really outplaying the Chargers' offense. I mean, the Broncos have a great defense. Yes. But can their offense put points up is my question. You can't win without putting points up.
Yeah, they got Marshawn Lattimore. That's who the Saints got. That was the big-time offensive player that they needed. Defensive. My fault, defensive. They also got a tackle, too, from Wisconsin, 32. That's why I thought they got Foster, because Foster got drafted 31 by the 49ers. The Saints drafted 32. I knew he was in the 30s. But anyway, I got the Broncos in this game only because I just think Von Miller and that defense, I feel like they're going to force a couple turnovers in this game. Mm-hmm. And those turnovers are going to lead to the game, like to the outcome of the game.
I mean,
I believe that the Chargers are capable of beating Denver. Like I get your point, and I can see that happening. But I can also see Phillip Rivers getting sacked, fumbling the ball,
but see
turning the ball over.
Honestly, this is where I go back to where the Giants game is. I feel like the Chargers have a better all-around team than the Broncos. I mean, let's not forget the Broncos have arguably the best defense in the league. But the thing that scares me is that can he put up any points? And the Chargers' defense is not bad this year. They do not have a bad defense.
I know they got better.
And they have Keenan Allen coming back healthy. They have Hunter Henry, who could have had a breakout year last year, but due to Antonio Gates and being Antonio Gates, really didn't allow that. But this year, I do see Hunter Henry breaking out more than what he did last year. You still have the opposing wide receiver, Tyrell Williams, who had a 1,000-yard season last year. And you still have Melvin Gordon, who...
He's really on my fantasy team, by the way.
He had a breakout year last year. He could have easily surpassed 1,000 yards, but came up 3 shy because he got hurt.
Week 14, he got hurt.
Week 14, which caused him to miss the last 2 games of the season.
Touchdowns.
Yes, so I mean, I'm rolling with the Chargers because, yes, the Broncos do have 2 good receivers, but it's all about the quarterback play. Without a quarterback leading your team, you can have anything else, but without a quarterback leading your team, you really don't have anything. You get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, I get
So
your point.
I don't see I can't see the Broncos putting up as many points as the Chargers.
I see your point. But that wraps up our weekly NFL predictions.
Yes, it does.
Real quick before we wrap this up, just give it. I want to hear your fantasy team a little bit, Dante. Just give everybody a little fantasy outlook, real quick.
Okay, now some
Because I've been giving a little quick shout outs.
Okay.
I believe I have the best running back tandem in my fantasy football league. I have Le'Veon Bell and Melvin Gordon. What do you think about that as a running back tandem?
It's not bad, but see, I'm in 3 different leagues. I'm in my barbershop league. I have my own personal league, and I have a league that I have been in the previous 5 years, I want to say, where it's my cousin's league, and I'm just gonna read off the teams that I have drafted. This is my barbershop league.
All right, cool.
My team name is Bad and Boo Breeze. So that should give you a hint who's my quarterback.
Yeah, that should give you a big hint.
So my quarterback obviously is Drew Brees, followed with my receivers of Doug Baldwin. And I did have Deshaun Jackson starting, but because of the postponed game, I had to take him out. So my number 2 wide receiver is just so happened to be Tyreek Hill, who you mentioned earlier. My running back tandem is unstoppable. Nobody can stop this running back tandem. It is started with Le'Veon Bell as my running back 1 and my running back 2 of Ezekiel Elliott.
Oh, man. How did you get that?
People got scared of the suspension. I'm not scared of the suspension.
Well, who's your backup, though? Because you know he's going to be suspended after
My
week
backup
1.
running backs consisted of Danny Woodhead and Samaj Perrine. I mean, Rich, really,
He's just going to hold you over till.
Yeah, I just need somebody to hold me over. I mean, listen, Le'Veon Bell is going to be Le'Veon Bell.
Yeah.
He's going to do what he does best. And finishing it off with my tight end as Jack Doyle, Indianapolis tight end. And my flex player just so happens to be Jamison Crowder. With my defensive being the Denver Broncos.
Damn,
And my
squad,
kicker
man.
is Matt Bryan from Atlanta.
You got a squad.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Dang, whoever's in your league, they don't know how to draft.
You take that over with them. You said it, not me.
Yeah, I said it.
So now I'm gonna go to my team in my cousin's league. My team name just so happens to be the Brady Bunch.
Oh, yeah,
Which
Tom Brady.
should show you who is my quarterback. Starting off with my quarterback play of Tom Brady. My wide receiver 1 is Odell Beckham. My wide receiver 2 would have been Deshaun Jackson again, but because injury, I had to plug in Marvin Jones. My running back 1, Ezekiel Elliott. Running back 2, Carlos Hyde. My tight end is Jimmy Graham. My flex player is Hunter Henry. And on the bench, I obviously said Deshaun Jackson, Darren McFadden, Amir Abdullah, Sam Bradford, and Robbie Anderson from the wide receiver from the Jets. With my defense being the Kansas City Chiefs, and my kicker being Dustin Hopkins.
Sorry, you got an alright team. That one's alright.
And for my final league, which is my league, I really don't. My team is okay, I believe.
Not confident. I can read off my team.
I don't know. I just feel like the 3. I just read it off. With my team being named again, the Brady Bunch. Should give you an idea who's my quarterback. TB12, the GOAT. And led off with my wide receiver 1 of Antonio Brown. Wide receiver 2 would be Allen Robinson. My RB1 is Todd Gurley. RB2 is Carlos Hyde. Tight end, Tyler Eifert. My flex player is Golden Tate. With my defense again being the Denver Broncos. And my kicker being Carlos Santos.
It's alright. It's an alright team. All right, now right now I got one league, but I'm probably gonna join another public league before the season starts. But the team I have for my league is I have Cam Newton as my quarterback, Le'Veon Bell as my RB1, Melvin Gordon as my RB2, Dez Bryant as my wide receiver 1. I'm still deciding whether to put Marshall in this week or Tyreek Hill as my wide receiver 2.
Brandon Marshall?
Yeah, Brandon Marshall.
I like Brandon Marshall.
Then I got Jimmy Graham as my tight end. I got Christian McCaffrey as my flex. And I have the Giants defense. I have Justin Tucker as my kicker. My bench, I have Coleman. I have Coleman from Atlanta as my backup
Tevin
running
Coleman,
back.
okay.
Yeah. I have O.J. Howard as my backup tight end. I have Tyrod Taylor as my backup quarterback. I got Matt Forte as my another backup running back. I have the Ravens defense as my backup defense. I might mix them depending on who they play. And then I have Brandon Marshall or Tyreek Hill as my backup wide receiver.
Okay, not bad.
So that's the only team I have right now. But I'm probably gonna join a league or something before this game starts tonight.
All right, well, you're limited on time because the game will start in about 2.5 hours.
Yeah, I got plenty of time.
All right, your time is limited because you got to get yourself ready. You got to prepare yourself for the game. So,
yeah, you're right.
But
anything else you want to talk about? Are you ready to wrap this up?
let's wrap this bad boy up.
All right, again, Swoop Podcast we have our own website at www.swooppodcast.com. After we have our videos, you can check out our comments. You can comment on our videos. You can like, subscribe, show friends, family the website. And this is Josh and Dante signing off.
Swoop!
Swoop!